November 3rd, 2022. Daily Bread. Passage Philippians chapter 1, verse 19 through verse 30. Key verse 21. Title: To live is Christ. For I know that through your prayers and God's provision of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, what has happened to me will turn out for my deliverance. I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but will have sufficient courage, so that now as always Christ will be exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I am to go on living in the body, this will mean fruitful labor for me. Yet what shall I choose? I do not know. I am torn between the two. I desire to depart and be with Christ, which is better by far. But it is more necessary for you that I remain in the body. Convinced of this, I know that I will remain, and I will continue with all of you for your progress and joy in the faith, so that by being with you again, your boasting in Christ Jesus will abound on account of me. Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. Then whether I come and see you or only hear about you in my absence, I will know that you stand firm in the one Spirit, striving together as one for the faith of the gospel, without being frightened in any way by those who oppose you. This is a sign to them that they will be destroyed, but that you will be saved, and that by God. For it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him. Since you are going through the same struggle you saw I had, and now hear that I still have. Daily Bread Message. Paul's imprisonment and what might happen to him at that time made him think about life and death. He was confident that whatever the case, Christ would be exalted. Paul knew that his life before meeting Christ was not really life at all. But even at Paul's worst, God saw him and loved him. Through God's love, Paul discovered his true life in Christ. Paul was not suicidal by any normal measure, but he surprisingly desired to depart and be with Christ. Paul believed that death was not the end of life, but the fulfillment of being united with Christ. Paul encouraged the Philippian believers to conduct themselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. By faith, they can stand firm in the one Spirit, strive together to grow in the gospel, and have no fear of those who oppress them. Suffering and death are not something to avoid, but to expect. It is why Christ came. Instead of being frightened, believers can see times of trial and suffering as great opportunities to experience and reveal God's grace and power to save. Prayer. Lord, you are the author and redeemer of my life. May I not live in fear, but in the assurance of your love and sovereign will over my life and even death. One word: to die is gain.